You know, they've been facing off against your Berserkers, and I think that it's going to be really, really good coming into this first map. And the Dust didn't really get to touch on this. The fact that, you know, I was casting yesterday's match, you were watch partying, and Liz mentioned it yesterday as well. Shopify Rebellion Gold got to watch those matches. And this map pool is toe for toe the combination minus Sunset of those series. So if anything, in my mind, Shopify Rebellion Gold has that edge, and they also play, in my mind, so different in VCL compared to game changers that it should really help them here. But jumping already into the pistol, it's going to be Shopify Rebellion starting out on the attack. Prosperity on that defense. And what you're going to see here is, once again, they like to go 4 strong with the Noya lurk and just see what space they can gain. And Donut has taken all this ramps control.
Yeah, this is very classic style from SRG, right? Where you'll see Noya pretty much soloed all this one a lot. And for SR, we were looking at it too, this 4-strong attack with some sort of mid interventions that do tend to happen once things get a bit messy is a tendency that we'll actually see things kind of pan out. But because Noya lurk already plays out well, catching off Magic early with trying to set up a trap previously as they head towards A.
And saw the Breach stick around trying to piece off Noya, but she's just so slippery, so cautious. And the Salvos delay the exec, allow Manny to get back on site, and Manny is such a menace on the Cypher. How do they break through this utility? One by one, hand in hand, 2 players swing back site. Oof. They're able to get that, shut down that player, and now Yuki has to wait for the rotations to come through for the rest of the team.
Yeah, Sarah just kind of knocked down, though. Unfortunately, Smoke saves her life, and now with this, Mel gets her own, leaving just 5-2. There it is, one more taken. Iso will take a retribution kill, if anything, so not the cleanest pistol for them, but Vantic, I'm getting a shot from behind. There it is. And now Iso left with the 1 to his name. Hoping to get one more possible, but should not be so. With 4 on site, but maybe just get one. He'll probably die to the spike as he heads towards Noya. And one more will be gifted over to him, if anything. But that should be about it.
Yeah, I mean, some warm-up mistakes, you know, not clearing corners, maybe some nerves facing a world champions at hand, as Iso will also fall. All in all, that culminates in a Shopify Rebellion pistol round. A great way to get the ball rolling here on the attack. And again, this is the structure that they have in place, right? Of a singular lurk, of really strong team fights and coordination. And in my mind, we've seen, particularly in that Nightblood Gaming match, sort of out of Prosperity, ways to get proactive. And you're on an eco round, that's exactly what I think the doctor is going to order. And look at that, it's going to be 4 strong A, right? Your Ray's probably satchelating down ramps, maybe a paranoia, a stun. And that's why Shopify Rebellion is so deep in spawn and sewers. They're waiting for it.
Yeah, we saw the pings also come out early as well too, so we're hoping to probably set up a fault line off the Teo drone to get the trap leg going, probably get some early damage down, if not a pick. And if the drone being sent out, like they're just waiting for the ping, and fault line being set up as soon as they catch a whiff of anybody around, but when the indication of anybody there, salvos go out early. Belongs to the fault line, catching nobody at all. No damage done, and util taken.
And Manny is still not able to find the elusive Nora in this moment. And look at this, they've actually sold the fake off Noya's deep presence B main that maybe this is gonna be, you know, a heaven split. Maybe it's gonna be the full commit. And now with a breach and an omen towards B, it's significantly weaker. The salvos really proactive here, but the immediate crash back into B, almost now biting Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, with 3 already on site, though, Sarah and Alexis managed to clear out 2 more. But 3 taken away in quick succession. It's Magic to get 1, but just 1 once again. Right, Shopify naturally get their bonus. And now, here we start with their ante, now with bonus on the horizon as well for PRS.
Yeah, I mean, the speed in which they pivoted, like, okay, we're going to lean A, no, we're going to go B. And I think part of that came off of, hey, we got the trip away, we got the cage away, now B's a lot less threatening. And that's when we see, you know, Sarah throw those salvos in. That's where we see that dive back in from the team. And, I mean, the trades, even don't know what the Ghost is able to find the capping kill. So, ultimately, what it allows is a really strong bonus coming into this next round against the full rifles for Prosperity.
And they're going to use it to full force, going to push it early along same fault line salvo setup, but we're deeper on the rockets this time instead. But smokes being set out early will mean that SRG will stay nice and safe and secure. They're taking once again, but they know they've got Stingers and Bulldogs, so they want us to give this away. A 3-0 start would be excellent for Prosperity, that round they need, and finally Manny gets his pick. Noya, punished for the lurks.
Noya, you got lucky last time that he whipped the shots, and you try it again. I mean, come on, that's your main as well, but ultimately falling here. And I do like this, though. Mel, Dodina, immediate to pick up that space, re-clear it, make sure they didn't push forward off that contact. But My concern is, again, no mid control. It's still very one lane focused. So as soon as contact's made, number one, the trips weren't broken. That's going to delay. Number two, you're going to get a breach shot of Paranoia out of heaven, and the support is going to be immediate.
And speaking of contacts, there you go. Support given over from Vantic. One taken away. Mel pops up top, but in the line of fire, Util to cover, but not for much longer. Alex takes 2 off the aftershock. And of course, that's crazy, but 3 taken by the end of it, but it's not enough. Left in a 1v1. Magic to cuss the round. And PRS on the board.
And I've seen some of those proactive plays that melt towards A site in other matches, but doing it out in the open on an eco round for B. And while she isn't able to find the kill, she obviously draws all the attention so much so that 2 people don't realize they're standing in an aftershock. Like, that's how you, at least for not winning a bonus round, do solidified damage. Look, the weapons being repurchased, some light shields, even a judge having to come out from Yuki, a guardian from Manny. And when you're playing these closer angles on A, now that they've swapped back, it is going to be a touch more difficult.
Yeah, so from there too, they'll switch up their approach and look to go heavy into garage instead. And Shopify off the flash. There you go, quick pick from Mel, entering on her moment like the Giga Chat she is. But nonetheless, though, they'll take their pick and ski that a lot in there instead. It's only meander down into mid, but still selling that B lurk. And instead, we'll see Noya once again. Nothing found around A, but mid seems to be where they want to crawl up towards.
I feel like in other matches, she's been a lot faster on the scale up the Ray. So that's a little bit slower, more methodical. She's still just waiting for that aiming pressure to mount while the rest of the team's going to join over. I am a little bit nervous. I'm getting flashbacks where when time is against you and you're execing into a Manny setup, things can get lethal. But he is playing from elbow, not deep sight. And again, there's that Guardian detriment here. So those things could work out. Or if you get hit by a stealth drone, all that util gets stripped away for a few seconds.
Yeah, speaking of which, too, there's a fall line instead. Stealth drone too. So they have a bit of time to be able to contend against everything. And Manny blind fires through the smoke. Manages to get on Alexis. Now, not the worst of things, but still, a good shot. Playing 4-on-4. Spike goes down.
Oh, and here's the play I talked about for Mel. Aggressive into heaven here. They heard the TP, hence the aftershock to try and force her off of rafters, but she just jiggles the dark cover angle towards screens and will fight through even off of an attempted Yoru flash.
Ooh. Yeah, flash not there this time. Mel losing her pick, unfortunate. With Izona up and Sarah with a spray, that double swing come out. Manny gets the better of that one, puts out the ult def as well. That's a 2-on-2. Manny and Isa to center around the defensive site, and him already looking to stick onto the spike. Almost got it to half as well too, but Rocket's gonna delay that effort even further, and Isa also looking around defending his Cypher, but not able to do so for much longer. The Rockets will take his life, and Isa knows he has to stick for a couple more seconds, and Shopify continue the delay to get the round.
And while you may get the kills, Isa, you cannot get the round. That's the strength of this composition. You have a breach aftershock, you have the salvos, you have the Noya, Gravwell, all of this. And then also when you plant for heaven, it becomes difficult, which is, I think, where this proactive timeout from Prosperity is going to come from. The compositions they've played against have been fairly similar to their Ode, where they don't have these added layers upon layers of post-plant utility. And I think that's what this discussion is about. Okay, how do we prevent a plant from going through, period? Or how can we speed up that timeline of aggression? Because they were doing a good job clearing space, punishing some of the proactivity like Mel out of heaven. But ultimately, again, when you come down to these joint utility pieces, it's just so difficult.
One enemy remaining.
And I mean, looking back at what led to this point, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's interesting as I was actually muted. Yeah, it's interesting because before too, we've seen the after these timeouts, right? Because Prosperity, this is a classic for them. They'll take the early timeout to reposition, especially after being a couple rounds down. But we'll see them set up more aggressive trap plays outside of A. Usually, you just send the raise out forward towards box and try to cover out the flash and the aftershock. So I wonder if they do the same thing, almost anticipating it. But Shopify have shown no tendency to go towards mid here either. So, and in fact, they'll change a bit of the setup of their own, going for a 3-2 split this time. Yeah.
We've seen this. As soon as they make contact, the Raze gets the deep line jiggle. That's when the Paranoia and the stun come out. And it's meant to catch off your alert player like Noya, who again has been problematic, not just finding, pop shot kills like we saw in those replays, but then also, again, the extra layer post-plant utility. So the pings for the fault line come through. And again, it's Shopify Rebellion playing so careful here. They do it at the start of rounds. Now they're doing it especially after timeout, where you're expecting a change to come through. You're expecting maybe a fluke aggression that, you know, might just get you out of this rut of rounds that Shopify has found with 3 strong. And all of that, now it's with the drone. The first layer of info utility is going to try to kind of eke out here.
Yeah, they'll meander their way over to past Stewards once again. This is a rotate we've seen them do past Garage just about 2 rounds ago as well, but this time it's based off the dimensional drift, right? So Butternut should be able to get a lot of good information, primarily going towards having sees trapwires and sus, hasn't found Manny just yet. There he is, past Cubby, has to go past the rocket, and Mel following up, not even out the drift yet. So we'll find Manny, trips down. I don't believe they actually managed to find Yuki, but they should have an inkling as there should be somebody by screens. Teto peeking forward, a dangerous play, but keeps her life for now. And so does Manny as the 4 of them go up towards heaven. Looks to make contact. Noya, this could get dicey. And it gets double swung. Unfortunate, but good. Yeah, good on PRS for them to find one.
I mean, there's 3 people. You saw them all heaven. Now, Sarah, I know you've gotten the Astra pick. You need your post-plant alive, so they're just going to let all of them walk by. They're playing the win con. They're playing for these late frag kills.
Yeah, and delay they will. Good flash as well. Yuki taking that one more. And on a save again for PRS, the plan working out. Alexis still alone. They're just defusing. Yuki saves and gets the last one. And Prosperity get a much needed round.
Oh, and I mean, I do think that hinges around the risk Sarah took there, right? She went under the radar. She played through the smokes. They all walked past her. And she's like, how many of my teammates am I allowed to sacrifice to play, you know, play my utility? And she swings and is only able to secure, you know, the one. And I think she needed more in that situation because then Aizo's good for the trade. Now you've lost your Astra, your Tejo. So then they're doing a good job, like we mentioned, breaking down that post plant piece by piece, which is the big change we wanted out of the timeout. So now SRG is saying we've had enough of A. We just finally lost a round there. Let's see what happens B. Now there's no trap play here like it was at the following round or the previous round. And they also don't have an oil rig to get punished this time around.
No, they do not. Instead, let's play confidently up into B firsthand. Rocket Center early to clear out towards the back of the site, but nothing substantial found to use the clone and shoot at the TP as well. Now Vantic, with all the options being taken out for Doternut, will mean they'll have to look to rotate, go through mid. Likely events play once again, but maybe this time to change it up, try to re-hit through heaven.
This is nice. I feel like one thing we talked about is they're usually 4 and 1. It's never kind of a 3-2 split here. And when you have such a strong B heaven defense with this raise, this breach, and joint kind of support, and East Outlaw as well, I think that would be a smart play. But all of it's, again, all bark, no bite, no follow through. And now the reclear from Prosperity here could be huge.
Yeah, they used the flash to get almost all 4 of them, but a good shot, and Dodo taking 2. This is a fantastic start, but using TP to get towards the back of the side should be nice. So some space to be taken ideally, but nobody watching. Flash to the setup. And Dodo's made her way in, and the rest to walk in, and it's just a shooting range for Magic up top.
1 enemy remaining.
They didn't have a chance to clear anything at all. Have to dry walk into the sites. And with that, you can pick the final. Prosperity, again, even things up.
Now Prosperity get punished for being some eager beavers, but all in all, we do get to see Magic and Yuki rein it back in with the better weaponry, again, punish the eco. And now that we're tied 3-3, now they've lost that kind of buffer zone. Effys is also going to step in here. Now, talking about the things Shopify Rebellion Gold has done well is, I think, really over towards the A site, right? We talked about how important Manny was going to be as an Anchor Sentinel. They found ways to force him off, whether it's a Salvo Nova Pulse combo, or whether it's, just, the salvos to force him out of Elvo. It's not aligned to have that impact, so...
Shooting a lot of salvo talk.
Yeah, I mean, they can coast off the salvos for this promotion event. Sure. And they're also doing a good job, I think, like waiting, being patient here and punishing again. Like we saw the aggression last round, like we saw them respond to the trap plays. And I think then, in my mind, the only thing you have to clean up is number 1, go back A. Number 2, again, try to figure out how to develop the post plant. Maybe figure out how to adjust or fight ramps control anything. Maybe have Donut fight there instead of screens. That's where they're consistently re-clearing. That's like the procedure, round after round, on the A retakes from Prosperity.
Not from here as well. The big thing to note is that SR, they've got a lot available, but so does Prosperity. So we're looking at 4 ults on both sides. Now, besides Omen, it's naturally being absolutely useless, but it's we might be playing some Overwatch rounds, as I like to say. Just full send, like 2 ults per person. More than likely, the Rolling Thunder, at least from both sides. But Early salvos, it's a showstopper as well. Magic looks to get aggressive. I cleared them out through spawn, nothing found just as of yet. Shot through garage and Alexis gets gone.
That is not the player you want to lose.
It is perfectly taken, yeah. That's a big one you lose on their side as well. And so now with that, they have to back out and get away scot-free. Yeah, easy.
Yeah, they robbed the Rolling Thunder potential here. They robbed the chance for a death ball approach. And typically when you see them lose an opening engagement or they're not, you know, in the space they want, they typically do kind of then dip into the Noya lurk, let her lead the way, they rejoin. And this time around, I was going to say, Manny was alone playing from heaven this time, playing for the kill trip on site where, you know, punish off the opposing smoke. But again, we're hoping SRG knows how to play around this.
Ideally, they do. We'll see as Clone once again stands out early. Trips cleared out, and now we're waiting for PRS. Full clear available as well. They're all going to enter in as 5. Manny finds one with the smoke again. This time it's Mel. That
what
could
he
be
does best.
Yeah, that could be detrimental as well if Noah doesn't have the star set up too. But Sarah is in a position before. Double set up this time, so at least to the backup. Manny now gone. But now there's 4 there. Armageddon to clear out towards the back of the site. The rest of them walk up forward. Take one. Nice shot from Dodo Nuts. Maybe it's not available, the relegation round, but now here once again. And then pick after pick. But they made it all the way. They switch sides here. Vantic up top, and they're playing off site. Issue is once again, though, they have also their own and rockets, but no more. They have to enter in. They have no Utah left. You gotta fight this forward. Yeah, but like you're saying, it's just taking it at halves. Yuki and Sarah clear out 4. Damn.
And they definitely cleaned things up after the timeout. What did I ask for? Fight early up ramps. And what do they do? The 2 post-plant players, Noya and Sarah, hand in hand clear out a player for Prosperity. They leave Noya deposited so she can play her util safely and also jiggle. And again, they just play down the utility. They play down the Taeho. I was worried there again wasn't going to be enough time bought, and it still was hinging on that, right, as they stuck it to half. But the swing from Sarah, and I'm assuming would have been the follow-up too from the remaining player, would have been good enough to get them off with time to spare. So all in all, SRG able to rebound for their 4th. Now it's back to business. They realize, hey, our A is kind of getting cleaned up. This seems to work. Let's run it till it doesn't, especially the Cosmic Divide.
I mean, speaking of which, right? That's right up there up top. And so they'll use it to cut out the entire side. Trip should be cleared out. As they take a easy peasy 2 away from the Dimensional Drift as well, and Rolling Thunder also on their side waiting. They lost it previously on the side of Lexus, but this time, no more. Meanwhile, Prosperity. Oh, they get split. That's a massive drone. And the concussed, as Rolling Thunder that we were talking about as well, they push them all towards ramp. And Mel gets a free fire away with the rest of the team. Also there, they're all concussed. All they see is white and gray, leaving just Yuki and Magic to go away.
Oh, but these are the 2 players that have won rounds before, and unfortunately, this just seems a little too unwinnable, right? The Ash, the Teo still alive, still plethora of plant utility. They know how that would pan out without not having time, even if they found the kills. And I was a little bit worried there, I'm not gonna lie, because I mentioned, hey, you guys finally fought ramps, yes! And then I'm starting to see 3 players off the Cosmic Divide walk down ramps for Prosperity, and I'm like, oh no. But the Rolling Thunder, and then the Mel pinch out of heaven because they couldn't hear her TP up because of the Cosmic Divide, it was the perfect reversal play. And even though Sarah wasn't able to take the fight as well because she was stunned out, they win enough kills to force that save, where Prosperity, I mean, this is where, you know, using that really early timeout doesn't work out in your favor because you're not going to use 2 in the first half until it's dire straits like a 9-3.
Yeah, it's interesting because we see Prosperity do this a lot, right? For some early mental resets, I imagine, but then also probably call out like early strats. But this time though, you just didn't have to come in from their side. Speaking of which, SRB finally showing towards mid early on, but it's 4 again though. We said previously, Zoe, is that you will never see them all linked up, pinkies, all 4 together, but instead it's the order to reposition, go towards, and they'll all back off, them staying mid. Okay, interesting. I wonder if we can find anything off of this. I don't think so, though.
Again, learn where players are playing from. And I honestly, when you've won the majority of rounds on A, I don't blame them for this magnetic draw they have this site. Just again, can you challenge Manny? I'm getting flashbacks. They got 3 kills with this classic against Nightblood with this exact Cypher setup. The cage at their side. Don't underestimate him.
Yeah, I mean, but that was Manny playing inside the smoke and not a single person decided to look inside of it, right? So, I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen again, but this time, the paranoia set up and both flashes put out to stop them early. Ooh. Oh, the smoke drops and Magic's gone. There we go. Yuki not ready for Dota, not there, but it's Manny to stop things off early, and you know he's there. It's double at the back. Oh and Noy is just so good. Not a collab, but it might as well be. 2 in quick succession, and the site is once again theirs, albeit a save for Prosperity. Vancic, lone person left, has a smoke of their own. Might be the look for exits. Ooh. But probably take the gun. Let me get one.
Stop. Going for the save.
Yeah.
Second round in a row, a player will be walking away with their tail between their legs. But ultimately, again, Prosperity needs to find a way to counter this A control. And I don't even know the last round we saw them go aggressive with the raised tail and breach A main, right? We talked about how it hasn't really found much because Shopify Rebellion plays so deep. But think about the round they went in with the showstopper, right? They cleared out every nook and cranny. If they take that aggression a step further, if they clear out sewers, if they try to clear some of these close corners, instead of just jiggling the safe angle there, that risk could have a high reward if, again, you understand you're having a hard time retaking against this team, as they already have reached the 6th.
Slowly but surely. Shopify 3 in a row, and there's a snowball effect that can also happen so often, Valorant, right? As all start to build up. Speaking of which, we're a couple away from Shopify's, but also 2 on the side of Prosperity as well.
30 seconds left.
Yeah.
And there's that moment, the tipping point. If they stayed alive, got the gun, got the kill, that could have gone very south, very quick. But oh yeah, again, beautiful standalone player right now on split. And she's gonna do it again. Over towards A. We don't get that aggression that I was asking for over towards A, unfortunately, but this round, it might just work in their favor. They have the Cypher B. That's where the hit seems to be developing. And I am worried. Usually you have the Breach of the Tejo Heaven to help support, and it's just Manny. And Manny says, I don't need the support. All right, I've shut down their Antidotus. I've shut down their new star, Dodo. And I still have my trips to work off of.
Yeah, I mean, Manny's actually good for those because he's peeking that angle more often than not. And considering Nui got caught by it last time, and after a couple early whips that they had, that's like, you know, he's been good for it each time. And we've actually talked about Manny a lot this entire game, right? Where, ooh, one more taken, but you know, he's been a phenomenal anchor for this team, and usually around near the top of the kill board too as well, where he's had some amazing clutch rounds for Prosperity. Alongside, he's seen some pop-off games from Yuki and Magic as well, just yesterday against Sad in the 1-2 loss. But nonetheless, Prosperity, once again, don't want to quietly go away. Past VCL. With one more taken, it should be just Mel. Look at his save, might be able to get one, has enough equal to buy again. Might not even get one though.
She understands the impact it's had this round, the defense, and she wanted to take it down with her, but fortunately Magic hits both of those shots. And honestly, that round, we talk about the buddy system, we talk about the 4-player strong SRG typically rolls up to a site with. It felt like it got pieced apart, one kill after another, right? The opening cage kill, alert player Noya gets shut down by Izo, lose another player Alexis over towards mid. It was just kind of doomed from the start, kill after kill. And you gotta be a little bit more careful. Again, maybe, you know, can't take a timeout, obviously, but talk with each other, be like, let's tighten things up a little bit, guys. We maybe have a 6 for the round, or the half, but we want more than that. And they're even gonna run it back B immediately here.
All missiles away. Who's next?
Let's see what to move forward with here. And it's Dimensional Drift to find 2 on site. Okay, Mid's 2 as well. Yeah, Mid, they're all just here. I mean, no playoff side for Prosperity, but there's no really big like retake goals from their end. So those all waited along, probably going past the flashes and fault lines. And Vanti committed the ults too. Yeah, Noe gets hers.
Now you know she's offsite playing her util again. You know Mel off that drone was up rafters, but again, Manny's going in alone. There's no support from the team, but Manny again doesn't need the support. Nerf left proc, and now his team has all the information it needs to retake this site.
That's so big for Manny again. We were building up previously as well before, but him just calmly walking through past the flashes, just taking one Nerf left down. This is so big for Prosperity on the retake. Sort it out, going to go with the peak off the flashes once again. It's at half. It was tough for SRG. They have to peek this now. But there's 3 on site. The gravity will delay it. And one more taken. Well played from SRG, but a close round.
Last
And that
round
is
in
a
the half.
copy-paste set play off the Dimensional Drift from the FlyQuest game they played to round out their Swiss perfection run for main event too. Like I've watched that back, and the only difference there was Fly fought really, really early versus in this round, Prosperity took their time, right? They waited. You kind of saw, like, you kind of thought SRG, like, hey, where are they? Where are they? We're kind of waiting on site for them to come, and they just waited, did their time. And again, the retake was good off the neural theft, the free flood in, the effective clearing of space, but when you have the Teo, you have the Astra off site, and you even have Dota able to play off for fodder, it was just doomed. Again, they cannot let the spike go down right now. This is WinCon.
Nah, like, considering we're down to 7 last round of the half, and what they can get done here though, taking knows it's a fake, but realizing that maybe it's talking for Dota nuts, so we'll continue to watch the angle at least.
This is the first time we've seen that focal point over towards mid, actually. And I feel like that's something I feel like is not being taken advantage of very well by SRG either. Is you can have a gate crash into vents, you can have, you know, off-map pressure, and Prosperity's used to playing against that sort of play style. They've played against your teams before. And so the fact that it is, I think, so simple is at times what I think is tripping Prosperity up at times.
Oh, Vante could just get one here. What? Dota sees him. That's so big. Clears up the angle. Now Manny once again taken out next. And Mel, the confident TP up top, but gets punished for it once more. Luckily, Dota there for the trade. But I was trying it a couple of times, but not worked out. And actually, you can try to clean up the rest. And with the match there for the support, the Op puts down just 2v2. This is big for Prosperity. See one in the corner. Sarah there to swing out. Op there taken. And still spike in their hands. A showstopper around the corner with 15 seconds left. Dota has to run, but may not have another chance. We'll be back into the Op. Shot taken, no flashes, nothing. Just got a dry walk in. It will not matter. Prosperity, 2-round differential.
And I was nervous there for the initial engagement from Yuki. I'm like, wow, this is without support. It would place Magic in a, you know, 1v3 with an operator position, but once he gets your first kill backside and crosses over pillar, then you have that support heaven from Magic in place, staring down main, and it all kind of fell into place after what was a beautiful opening right off the Armageddon. They get the site, they fight forward, and I mentioned how prior, you know, SRG is used to handling really quick floods like this, but an operator, eye in the sky, to secure a 7-5, at least 5 rounds for Prosperity there before the sides swap, and this is where things look at a little bit more difficult because you don't have a Sentinel, right? But Astra to the Sentinel, let's see if it's just as good.
Let's find out together. You're right. Yeah, let's force that in first. Ooh, big paranoia from Mel, but
Sounds like I do that.
Yeah, the Vantic TP up top, but right into Sarah's gun. So losing one early isn't ideal, but it won't necessarily cause him to falter necessarily. Nice shot from Alexis. But Heaven is still up top, though, looking to find another if they can. The Alexis is there, but the corner, unfortunately. And the fault line to keep them there. For Prosperity, though, I mean, you gotta kind of figure out where to go after this, because once the smoke dissipates, they'll still be around. And all of SRG around here, they could just get pinched, but Dodo's still waiting at B. To see if they do rotate, don't think it'll happen though.
Yeah, minus mid-event right now, they have them completely contained here in A Heaven, right? And they were just waiting for that exact moment. Salva's back online for Yuki, you re-engage. And fortunately, both players are tucked away elbow without much information on the side of Prosperity.
And maybe so. Double Tico top with something that's a lot more doable. Where they just take their time. And now, just simply through gun duels, they're able to get the site back. SRG, getting a pistol here on the defensive half will be big for Prosperity. It's a chance to even out the score. Eyes around the corner with both flashes ready and available with no salvos on Yuki's side. Saw Dota now, so looking to probably play flash that. The salvo's finally up. There's a flash. Not found just yet. Yeah, Noise up top. He's a cubby. Nice shots. So take it. There's a stick it. Dota taps it. And finally catches them. SRG, a bit dicey there in the middle, but let's look at the round.
Yeah. Again, heroics, individual performance from Prosperity shines through to break down the players on site, but the numbers advantage was too far gone because of, you know, the opening, you know, the mind read, the communication of the TP from Vantic. And then also Magic going off on this kind of solo expedition into spawn, right? And I didn't see salves, I didn't see a stun. There was nothing to set up that jiggle into CT. And that's what we want to see. And that's exactly what we did see from the remaining players, but it just, again, wasn't enough. The HP too far gone. So Shop of Rebellion, that is the second pistol under their belt here for Split. Able to get the buy up here yet again. Dota Outlaw action over towards A. The trio stack over towards B. This shows trust in your duelist. And talk about abusing mid. Shopify never did, but Prosperity, I think this is one-way ticket into an eco.
I mean, most definitely, but with Maddie not gone so early, they're once again up in the stack in heaven. And with Mel and Nora to come around, that should be all happens in the round. Yep, that's it.
Wow. Yeah, super, super reactive. And for me, again, this composition, it does scream confidence. It does scream aggression for the side of Prosperity. But I think when you are going up against a, lack of a Sentinel composition, that's where some of these defaults, some of these spread aggression points are going to work out. And second round eco, not where you're going to expect it from. Maybe even not the first rifle round, but later on, that's what I'm hoping to see. We already have the Yeoman lurk over towards B main. We might have somebody go sewers. But for the time being, it looks like they do want to challenge A. And it looks like, yeah, the Outlaw may be able to find Manny, who is the only one with the regen shield. But all in all, should not spare too much of a instant death penalty. That would be an instant death penalty, though.
Yeah,
if you walk into Mel with a judge.
Yeah, I mean, Mel actually loves this play. I'm surprised that she hasn't smoked it up just yet, because usually she'll look to play around inside the smoke if she sees or notices early aggression. But Fancy, not gonna find much here. Trying to look at the pixel angle, but both of them holding firm with two moving towards garage currently.
Oh, good
and
call.
Spike is going towards there. This could be big. First shot, second taken. Mel ready and prepared. And TP's out. Bada bing, bada boom. That's how we do it.
And just the read as well. The return over towards A, a fake attempted by Prosperity. And, oh man, it finally shuts down the judge wielding Mel. It feels like the damage has been done, right? 3v4. You have 45 seconds left to get a plan through, and that's where you don't want any of the players for Shopify Rebellion to take risks, take solo fights. Delay the time.
Indeed, but not out of for Prosperity yet either, right? So, passes smoke, they can make it through as well. There's the flash, which is nice. It's so annoying with the judge of her own, but
no!
that one gets taken away. Big for Prosperity as well, having control in their favor, but a concuss towards both. But it's not enough. Jodo clean with the shot, and his eyes are left in a 1v3. Util or not, it's not gonna happen. And SRG at double digits.
No, Dota was stunned there, correct? And you can't
I
ADS.
believe so. But
So that
remember,
was a no-scope buddy shot there onto Yuki.
yeah, concussion does not matter. It is bad.
Apparently, you don't need the ADS if you're Dota not. But if you're Prosperity, you do need to take a timeout because that's a round you should not have lost. It's 3 strong for Shopify Rebellion Gold on their map pick, showing maybe why they were so confident here. I mean, this is the map they 13-6'd in GC, they 13-6 VCL. Doesn't matter where you come from, they are good at this map. That's how it boils down. And looking back at the first half, the rounds that did work for Prosperity, again, it was piecing Shopify Rebellion Gold apart. And again, that's where I talked about maybe what I would be changing coming out of this round. Again, just something to do with maybe slowing it down, don't go for as decisive of execs, because that's where this comp's gonna thrive, right? They have the retake utility. They don't have the tracking utility to figure out where you are across the map. They are playing super reactive. They're not playing forward for info other than Mel last round with the judge, but that was an eco. A bonus.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, I wanted to run back to judge play again too, because like they've been known to do so previously, but this time they'll actually buy actual weapons.
Oh no, Noya!
No slash judge and Dota slash they're going to. Okay, I mean, fair enough. Outlaw still
You got
pretty
stars
nice.
to play off of, right? You Nova Pulse, you stunned up and you swing.
Good
She
point,
said,
yeah.
I'm not going to lose that fight to Yuki again. And she might not have to. Look at the team. Looking like they're about to roll up. It's going to be every player of this core rolling up to her Nebula, knocking on her front door.
Yeah, it's right around. Don't believe she actually heard the jump, but won't play inside the smoke here either.
About to fade.
Yeah. Not much else we found either from Idler Cup, but consider there's
dodged a
no
bullet.
noise. Yeah. No noise on either side, right? So instead, they look to try the chances on A instead. And what we're seeing so far is just Dodo holding close, right?
Oh.
Maybe a bit too close.
It's not the biggest weapon donated to the cause, but that's kind of what I wanted out of Prosperity, to play that deep angle, play for information so your team can rotate really quick. They rotated so fast that Sarah's able to get her way on site, and she's confident. She's like, if I donate a Vandal, I donate a Vandal. I've got Mel, I have a Vandal, and I have Prosperity's names on my kill list.
Oh! Seems like they got kill contracts of their own, so man, honestly, matter we even things up. It's 2-3 at this point, man. You got a Stinger, they got some guns in their hands. With the spike being down, Alexis has got to wait for the team to go ahead and join up, link back up again, and we need to get an actual gun, if possible. But just walk in confidently past the util with a judge. A shot taken, flash is clean. She clears the site with a judge. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, Mantic. You can't be missing shots like those. She has a judge. And I was already thinking, like, gears turning. I'm like, okay, this is like the round they lost last. However, they got thrifty, and then Effie's had to call a timeout. And I'm like, that's your last time out of the map. You're not going to use it like that. And Shopper Rebellion dispels all those worries with one magical weapon and one magical player. Noya, now topping the leaderboards, brings that weapon back, or that round back from the brink of destruction here. Because, again, the coordination was clean. We outplay. Last time I mentioned that drone, how the fake wasn't sold, that time it kept the players on B, actually. So interesting, to say the least. Shopper Rebellion, though, nonetheless, still reaching 11th, still have a perfect half so far.
Yeah, but I mean, still, shout out to Alexis as well for a really well set up fall lane and flash off that, but still, yeah, that was crazy. Camp spots Sarah early. We'll have to make her way backwards towards Cubby, but it's the full stack right now from PRS. They don't want to lose this one either.
Ooh.
It's their last 5 round, a crucial one for themselves.
How?
To boss secure anything in the half, stays alive through everything thrown at her. Insane stuff here. During the walk-in past the flash, the op takes one, and the victim looking to be set up as if they can, but Yuki taking out 2, massive 2 picks, TP out, Dorna barely survives that 2 with Mel up top. A paranoia to look to allow Dorna not to re-peek if possible, but as right now, it's also annoying to look at the walk-in. This trip is crazy, bro. And now they know the lurk is coming. Ducks under the trip. So 1 trip clean, 1 not so much. He's up their life with 2 there. Izo has an ult of his own. Pops up top. Mel goes flying and matches there for the rest of the setup. It's just Noya. The late lurk to come around with 2 on-site magic to make first contact. Sees him, but there's 1 around the corner. The gravity will not enough. And as Izo on the corner. Takes 1 more. It's 1v1. Magic ready and waiting for Noya.
Nervous that, if you lose that fight, there wasn't enough time for Noya, but Magic confident in that angle, confident in that duel to keep Shopfire Rebellion gold off of map point. And also, just the awareness and the lack of hesitation from Izo there, right? Mel slipped through, got the kill on a Manny. The trip in sewers was broken, so the 2 remaining players are going to be coming from main. So what do you do as soon as you find the kill on a donut? Let the Rolling Thunder loose, and you secure the round and finally get 1.5. So nicely done. Again, I felt like Shopfire Rebellion was gifted opportunity after opportunity that round, right? Sarah somehow weathers all the utility. Donut gets op shot after op shot opportunity, and they unfortunately don't connect. Those are the kind of small mistakes that add up to rounds lost. So I feel like they're running the same sort of buy. Donut again with the operator in hand. See if this time she can right the wrongs the lost.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see instead. Astral Wall available as well, if need be. They used that previously to successfully take the site on A, but Noya moving up early on too. I want to bear in mind if Manny doesn't manage to get a pick when he pick taken off, then Niddle Theft has been instrumental in PRS's game plan. And Magic, one of the showstopper like you mentioned as well too. Could be interesting. But Dota's so far forward. Mel to reposition past the paranoia. Sarah tries to save her. Mel there, good for the trade. We'll get on their own. Taking nice shots from Dota Nuts. And the reposition still full. Flash in 2 in quick succession. As the spike drop, the 3rd not found. Will be punished for it. A little bit off of the hit mark, and showstopper not ready and available as well. Magic will get the spike down. And Yuki has to run all the way back, ready and set up. Finds his pick. Noya gone. It's a 2v2 once again. Mel, I don't know if she's ready for this, and she's not. Just Alexis left. This is so rough here, Zobi.
Yeah, I mean, if a showstopper, you have salvos, the last thing you expect is Magic to push forward and sacrifice all those win cons, but at this point, it feels like the outcome of the round is all but decided. You know exactly where Lexus is. They're tracking her position. Magic is finally deciding to play things a little bit safer this time around.
Yeah, there's a salvo as well. It means you can't peek. Alexis takes Magic because him was the one he won last time, but she has to hold it. She has no time, and she's gonna die for it. But take the pick, does not matter. Once again, the Teho comes in true to be able to delay the round enough. And SRG, once again, not able to find that 12. Prosperity inching closer and closer.
Yeah. And I mean, Dodina delivered like I asked her to. I said, hey, let's try and land some of these op shots. She opens things up with that advantage for the team. The coordination from Mel as well to shut down the flanks to get the refrag over towards B main helped out. But all in all, it was Magic here. The proactivity, finding the util. Doesn't have to use the showstopper because you still have 4 rounds to go before things are tied. So you want to have that for the next. They are going to force the eco here. Hence that allow pickup. Alexis, Sarah, all they want is kills this round. Even Dodina, all one off from their ults. All it takes is 1 round to get you to OT. 1 more to close out the map. And I think that's what Shopify Rebellion Gold's playing for right now.
Trying to pass this one could be crucial as well, but you know, like you're saying, just looking to do some damage to Rico. Because Prosperity is actually sitting pretty here either, right?
Locating targets.
Another tough loss could just land them back into using Stingers and Shares themselves once more. But I do wonder if Noya's Judge can be that instrumental once again in the round. Nonetheless, we'll see they're inch quite far forward on this B side, looking through mid, but this time though, as Mel tucked in, oh, this could get dicey. That's the spike. Goes down, Magic takes it, and it's red, and it's green and red across the screen. It's trains galore between the two.
No one told me it's Christmas.
I'm saying, right? It's not even November yet. But the lights will continue forward. It's a blue light this time. Pass out the flash. And it's 2v2 once again. Armageddon prepared. Shot whipped. And Spectacle down here. Low health bars on side of Magic, but the flash to go wide pushes Magic away. Up top, not ready for the garage peek. And Magic, we talked about it before, how excellent he was in his previous games. And he continues to build up the impact kills that he has right now for Prosperity. This is Dodo. Star Duelist. One more left. Dimensional Drift also available, but is waiting for the peek out. No salvos this time. It can't just peek it. With that shot ready, Magic once again comes out on top.
That's why on these ecos you pick up an Outlaw. It was like copy-paste mirror from the operator in the previous half out of ramps. And I mean, I will say SRG definitely got what they came for, right? They got the ults. They got the money. Kind of filed away on the side of Prosperity Esports side. And a part of me was thinking, like, win or loss, this timeout was going to come out for Shopify Rebellion Gold. Just because they are going to have 5 at ult, no matter how you spin it. But all in all, I think this is smart. Just to make sure you have a concrete plan, to make sure you don't toss these ults away and don't get the round. Because last thing you want is a 13-11 after you found that successful 7-5 half, after this is your map pick. So again, 1 more round, and you can take out a relief sigh. You got overtime. And I mean, there were so many rounds that were so close that came down to 1v1s.
Literally, I think the past 4, by the way, have come down to like 1v1s. It's like things become so messy right in the middle, right? Where we look to enter in, like flashes go back and forth. We manage to get picked off right at the entry, and then it's just a brawl for whoever peaks who first. But here, though, they should be a little bit different. Now, I know we pointed out that SRG has all going white circles, but at least on the other end, right, a neural theft for Prosperity, which can, you know, be a saving grace for them in terms of actual post planting or just looking to survive in these games. And also 2 away from the Armageddon from Yuki, which can be instrumental to stave off the aggression of Shopify.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you think they're going to come up with a plan with all these ults, especially calling a timeout, knowing where those key players are is instrumental. But all in all, I feel like this is the slowest start we've seen Prosperity in this map so far. And I think it again comes out of that caution of a Rolling Thunder and Armageddon can come out any second when you least expect it. So that's why you have the early salvos. That's why you have the early boom bot. All just trying to trigger and set off this chain reaction that Shopify Rebellion might have set up But again, they're being cautious. They're waiting until they have absolute certainty. That's why they're so deep, right? Asher all the way stairs, Breach all the way deep rafters. Mel, I love the intentional gap. I want to see a kill off of it here.
Shadows traveling.
Sets up the summer smoke once again with that gap. But no one peeking here early. Prosperity taking their time like you're looking for a 30-second hit. Considering no one's been found by A here, right? The drone to clear out, seeing heaven is all but open. That puts Salvos to try to disrupt them. Shot a little bit late, but now it's on Mel to reposition. The paranoia is also good too. Sees that has to go walk in. There it is. The Armageddon also passed it. Clearing out garage, the bomb, but nothing more. They'll manage to walk their way past it too. Male smokes herself off, and with the rest, Prosperity looks to walk in. No way they could cuss the last second. Doesn't see her. Survives for the last couple, but it still doesn't matter because the rest of them still die on sites. It's one by one they get taken. It's all red, all spread across B. Prosperity.
Give me a moment.
Well done.
I'm just sitting here trying to recollect myself because it felt like, I mean, you have 30 seconds left. You have an Armageddon, you have a Rolling Thunder, the opening kills onto the opposing duelist. They hit every piece of utility possible to delay that plant. And we just got to see none of it. And because the players played a little bit too far forward, I talked about how safe they were at the start, so... I mean, they even didn't spall for the Tejo drone fake. That's happened, what, 3 times now on the side of Prosperity? But, okay, Manny, insane. And they're fortunate they only used 1 ult, so still 4 to go here. But again, the money's dash, Prosperity inch ever closer. Are we finally getting a mid play?
Haven't optioned it just yet, right? No real early push outs either. Hoping to possibly match early aggression, but don't at this time, you know? They got classics, right? So it's a... The anti-eco for SRG has not proven to be great previously. They've managed to get 1 to 2, but nothing substantial at times. But on the other ends, you know, we've also seen Prosperity just go down to 1. So yeah, tucked in. They'll all rotate over, realizing A seems to be the hits.
And as again, salvos, it's drones to try and keep players in position for Shopify, and they never bite. Again, falling from Mel intact. You mentioned it could be forced all year for the receival.
Oh! Yeah, just magic with 2 taking quick succession to clear out the rest of the site. Iggy coming out with that late lurk as well. Only giving 1 Sonoya, but it's a 2v3. This isn't the worst for Shopify, but for Prosperity, this is also less than what they want as well. Mel, repositioned towards the corner with a stinger. That's 1, but a little bit off. Still finds 1 by the end of it. And Alexis spotted. This is big. Rolling Thunder available to try to stop the plant if they can. And it barely doesn't go down. That could be mid. 6 seconds does it once more, but ISO with the final Prosperity have built this game up brick by brick, and they're 1 away from tying it up.
That's about like desperation, the Rolling Thunder, the run it down. I mean, even if she got the spike down with less than 4 seconds left, you know, Manny was hot on her heels. She would have been low HP with a stinger. I mean, those are finally the 2 big ultimates gone, Armageddon and Rolling Thunder, and now 1 round away. I mean, Prosperity, they look confident. Look like they're finally running circles and understanding the win con there. Like, we finally had a Yuki deep lurk through mid, right? They're starting to realize, okay, they aren't keeping tabs on us. They are rotating super proactively, right? And they're punishing it. So I think all you got to do is turn up the heat a little bit. Shopify Rebellion Gold. Little aggressive deposit there off the fault line. The Shrouded Step for Mel. So Crossfire established. They want deep control because they realize they've been letting that lax a little bit, right?
Question is the what to do off of it, right? Because like, although they managed to take it and they'll hold firm on their sites, but it'll depend because this round hasn't exactly been forgiving even if control is taken because Prosperity just plays so confidently going off of 2. And the gunfights going into their favor just means that at the end of it, you know, no matter what the delay comes, Prosperity still somehow come out on top. Thanks to the efforts of Manny and Magic, and now, as you were saying it, it's 1 for the trade. They managed to get away, and Armageddon on their side. The wall of fire to clear out the mid of the sites. 1 taken away as well to Alexa, the trade previously, and once again has to be traded out once more. By the end, it's a 3v3.
Antic is 1 off from the shadows. Tap to try and draw additional players out, but it's dimensional drift to precede everything. Corner not cleared is lethal as well, and Manny, who was only 2 HP to begin with. All this, I mean, at this point, yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, side of Shop for Rebellion, like magic, Noya's got that covered.
That's on Van taking the 3v1. He's tucked below, might be able to find a second, a big swing back though, but they'll stick in the spike. And Shopify, after a tough couple of rounds, finally managed to get 12, playing safe, taking control. Like you were saying, Zobi, barely eking it out.
Prosperity, again, I think they heard the play over towards B main. They were prepared to fight it so that Mel, you know, doesn't get an insane spray transfer. But Noya, again, I mean, she like never budged from stairs until she absolutely had to. And I really liked that quality because then the reclear was pretty seamless, right? From the Nova Pulse to then also finding the final kill into Magic. But this is going to be a difficult round. Showstopper, Rolling Thunder online. You try to divide and conquer one after the other, we could see an OT, but if there's any play to shut the door on Split, it's this double judge. Male and main. And the drone's going towards Vents, and it doubles back. And I don't know if it has enough time left to spot her out. It doesn't. And she goes right back.
But here's the thing. Do they fall for this? They've been taken out by a judge play before. It was Mel and Barrage. I believe it was like round 9 or 10. But then this time the Noya, her
gotten like
judge
2
wasn't
from heaven.
fruitful.
2.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Good point. Yeah. But then, can't you do it again, though? Right? Can't you
I'm
recreate
hoping.
the same results, though? I mean, because depending on who went around the corner, and instead, they look to carefully enter the doors. A is still selling it towards a fake. Oh, the timing from Mel is massive.
They never trust these Tejo Util fakes, and I love that from SRG.
Oh, goodbye.
And there's the judge we asked for. A breach stun doesn't matter. Your lurk player, Manny, doesn't matter. And Shopify Rebellion are 2 kills away from locking down map 1.
That's crazy.
One enemy remaining.
The way it was concussed and doesn't matter. That's a spike now dropped. Taking away the showstopper as well, too. There's one more taken. It's Iso left in a 1v3. We're gonna hold on a second. You turn the
Spike.
impossible to improbable. And it might become possible if one more is taken.
To get spiked, they had to get back to
One
site,
more
and every
corner.
player was closing in.
Yeah. Wasn't gonna happen. Shopify Rebellion Gold. Just barely. Had to get over the finish line on splits. But